Some stories stay with you forever. Here's one of them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment and let us know where you're watching from. She was just a humble cleaner, but when she saw a 9-year-old boy surrounded by 5 wealthy women pointing at her and shouting, "I choose her to be my mother," she realized that sometimes a child's heart sees what adults can't. "Gabriel, come here now." Ricardo Almeida stood in the mansion's backyard, certain he couldn't wait any longer. 2 years without Mariana was too long. His 9-year-old son needed a mother, and he was going to fix it today. Gabriel was playing alone near the pool, stacking small stones, as he often did when he wanted to be invisible. Since his mother's sudden departure, the boy had lived like a ghost in the house. "What is it, Dad? Sit here next to me. We need to talk." The boy walked slowly, his green eyes just like Mariana's. Ricardo felt his chest tighten, but quickly pushed the thought away. He couldn't live like this forever. "Son, you know I love you, right?" Gabriel only nodded. Lately he spoke little and smiled even less. "And your mom always wanted us to be happy, even after she couldn't stay with us anymore. I know. That's why I've made an important decision. You're going to have a new mom." Gabriel stopped playing with the stones. "What do you mean? I've already chosen 5 wonderful women. You're going to meet them all today and tell me which one you want to be your new mom." The boy's face went white. "Today? Today they're coming here?" Gabriel stood up abruptly, scattering the stones on the ground. "I don't want to meet anyone." "Of course you do. They're beautiful, rich, and well-educated. One of them will take very good care of you." "I don't need anyone to take care of me." Ricardo felt his irritation rise. At his company, when he spoke, everyone obeyed instantly. It wouldn't be any different with his own son. "Gabriel, stop this tantrum. You haven't even met them yet." "I don't want to. I don't want a new mom." "It's not about what you want, it's about what you need. This house needs a woman. You need a mother." "I already had a mother," Gabriel shouted with a fury that startled even his father. "She died, remember? Or have you already forgotten her?" The words cut Ricardo like a knife. "Of course I haven't forgotten your mother, but life goes on, Gabriel. Life goes on for you. For me, it stopped the day she left." The boy started walking toward the back of the yard, where the trees were denser. Ricardo grabbed his arm. "You're not going anywhere. You're staying here and meeting these women." "Let go of me!" Gabriel struggled to free himself. "You can't force me." "Yes, I can. I'm your father. A fake father. A real father wouldn't force his son to choose a fake mother." Ricardo felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. Gabriel managed to break free and ran to the back of the yard, disappearing into the bushes. At that moment, Ricardo heard the sound of cars arriving. It was them, the 5 candidates, and Gabriel had vanished. Helena Santos was cleaning the living room windows when she saw the parade of expensive cars pulling up in front of the house. A black BMW, a white Mercedes, a silver Audi. It looked like a fashion show. "Helena!" Carmen, the housekeeper, appeared in a hurry. "The boss sent word. Today you're to stay in the service area. No showing your face, no walking around." "Why? Who's visiting?" Carmen lowered her voice. "He brought some women here for Gabriel to meet. He wants to choose a new wife." Helena's heart sank. In the 6 months she had worked there, she had grown fond of the sad boy who lived in a mansion full of people, but empty of love. Gabriel always sought her out when his father wasn't around, and Helena always found a way to listen to the wild stories he would invent. And Gabriel, how did he take it? Badly. He ran off into the yard and won't come back. The boss is frantic. Helena looked out the window and saw 5 women getting out of the cars. They all looked too perfect to be real. High heels, designer clothes, salon-styled hair. They looked like expensive dolls. Poor Gabriel. "Helena, don't get involved. The boss is already on edge. If he finds out you talk to the boy, he'll fire you on the spot." But Helena couldn't stop thinking about Gabriel. Where was he in the yard? Was he crying? Was he afraid? At 9 years old, the boy had already lost his mother. Now they wanted to force him to choose a replacement, as if he were picking out an ice cream flavor. From the kitchen window, she saw Ricardo greeting the 5 women at the entrance. All smiling, all charming, all eyeing the fortune of the city's richest widower. But where is Gabriel, Carmen? I'm just going to check the backyard to see if the plants are watered. Helena, don't go. Stay inside. But she was already heading out the back door. Something inside her told her that Gabriel needed help. The mansion's backyard was huge. It had the pool area, a massive lawn, and at the very back, a wooded section with a small bridge over a stream. It was there that Helena found Gabriel. The boy was huddled under the bridge, hugging his knees with his head buried in his arms. He wasn't crying, but Helena could feel his sadness like a heavy cloud in the air. "Gabriel, are you okay, honey?" He raised his head, startled. When he saw it was Helena, he relaxed a little. "Aunt Helena, I don't want to go back to the house." Helena sat beside him on the grass, not caring that she was getting her uniform dirty. "What happened?" "My dad wants me to choose a new mom from 5 women I don't even know." The boy's voice was filled with a sadness that didn't belong to his age. Helena felt like crying with him. "And you don't want a new mom?" "I already had a mom, Aunt Helena. Her name was Mariana, and she loved me for real. These women don't love me. They don't even know me." "How can you be so sure?" "Because they're here for my dad's money, not for me. My real mom loved me even before I was born. She loved me when I cried, when I was sick. She always loved me." Helena had to swallow her tears. At 9, Gabriel understood things that many adults pretended not to see. "Your father is probably hurting too, Gabriel. Sometimes adults do foolish things when their hearts are in pain." "He's already forgotten, Mom. He took all her pictures down from the house. Now he wants to force me to call a stranger Mom." He took all the pictures down, said it was time to move on. "But I don't want to move on without my mum." Helena took Gabriel's cold little hand. "Can I tell you a secret, honey?" "Yes. Your mum didn't really leave. She's still here in your heart, in your memories, in the way you're so caring, just like she was." Gabriel looked directly into her eyes. "Aunt Helena, every night I talk to Mum before I go to sleep. I tell her about my day. I ask her if she's okay. And you know what she told me yesterday?" "What?" "That when it was time to choose someone to take care of me, my heart would know. I wouldn't need Dad to tell me what to do." Helena felt a shiver. "And is your heart telling you anything?" Gabriel stared at her for a few seconds. "It's telling me that you're the only person in this house who really likes me." At that moment, Ricardo's voice echoed through the yard. "Gabriel, where are you? Come here now." The boy flinched. "He's going to force me to." "Gabriel!" The voice was getting closer and angrier. Helena made a decision that would change her life forever. "Stay here. I'm going to talk to your father." "No, Aunt Helena. He'll fire you." "No, he won't. I won't let anyone hurt you, Gabriel. I promise." Helena stood up, brushed the dirt from her uniform, and went to find Ricardo. She found him near the pool, red with anger, with the 5 women watching from the side. "Mr. Ricardo, Helena, what the devil are you doing out here? I told you to stay in the kitchen. Gabriel is hiding in the yard. He doesn't want to meet these ladies." "Where is he?" Ricardo took a step toward her, trying to intimidate her. "He's scared, sir. He's a 9-year-old boy who still misses his mother." One of the women, a brunette in a blue dress, laughed. "What drama! It's just a spoiled brat throwing a fit." Helena turned to the woman with a coldness that surprised even herself. "Do you have children, Mom?" "No." "But then you shouldn't talk. You're about things you don't understand." Ricardo turned purple with rage. "Helena, how dare you speak to my guests like that?" "I'm just defending Gabriel. He's a child who needs affection, not pressure. He needs to learn that I'm the father, and he obeys me. He needs love, Mr. Ricardo, not forced obedience. The silence in the yard was heavy. The 5 women watched the argument with faces of people watching a soap opera. A maid was arguing with the millionaire boss in front of them. "You're fired," Ricardo said through gritted teeth. "No!" Gabriel's voice cut through the air. Everyone turned. The boy had come out of his hiding place and was running towards them, his face red from crying. "Don't fire Aunt Helena. She's the only one who understands me in this house." Gabriel stopped in front of Helena and grabbed the hem of her uniform skirt, like a small child seeking protection. "Gabriel, come here immediately," Ricardo ordered. "I won't. I'm staying with Aunt Helena." One of the women, a brunette in a red dress, muttered to the others, "What an embarrassing situation. The child is truly ill-mannered." Gabriel overheard and turned to her with a fury that impressed everyone. "You don't know anything about me. You're only here because you want my dad's money." "Gabriel!" Ricardo yelled, but the boy continued pointing at Helena. "If I have to choose, I've already chosen. I choose Aunt Helena to be my new mom." The yard fell into a deathly silence. The 5 candidates were speechless. Ricardo went as white as a sheet. Helena felt the ground disappear from under her feet, and Gabriel continued to shout with all his might, "She's the one I want. She's the one who really cares about me. If you want a choice, here it is. I choose Aunt Helena. You've completely lost your mind, Gabriel." Ricardo was purple with rage. The 5 women remained frozen, mouths agape, unable to believe that a 9-year-old boy had chosen the housemaid over them. "I haven't lost my mind at all," Gabriel replied, still clinging to Helena's skirt. "I know exactly what I'm saying." The brunette in the blue dress let out a nervous laugh. "Ricardo, this is clearly an infantile tantrum. The child is confused." "I'm not confused at all." Gabriel turned to her, his eyes shining with anger. "You're the one who doesn't understand anything." "Gabriel, you're going to stop this right now," Ricardo roared. "Apologize to the ladies and come here with me." "I won't apologize to people who don't deserve it." Helena tried to calm him down. "Gabriel, honey, you be quiet." Ricardo exploded at Helena. "You're not saying another word. You're fired, period." "No!" Gabriel screamed so loudly that the neighbors must have heard. "If she leaves, I'm leaving with her." The woman in the yellow dress murmured to the others, "What an embarrassing situation. I think we should go." "No, please." Ricardo tried to salvage the situation. "The boy is just upset. Let's go inside, have some coffee, and talk calmly." But Gabriel was not calm at all. He let go of Helena's skirt and went right up to the 5 women. "You want to know why I'm not choosing any of you?" "Gabriel!" Ricardo tried to interrupt. "Let the boy speak," the woman in the red dress said, intrigued. Gabriel took a deep breath. "Because you don't even know my name properly. Do you know what food I like? Do you know that I have nightmares every night? All you know is that my dad is rich." The blonde in the green dress crossed her arms. "Obviously, we don't know those things yet. We just met." "Exactly. You want to marry my dad without even knowing me. And Aunt Helena has known me for 6 months. She knows I like to stack stones. She knows I'm afraid of the dark. She knows I talk to my mom every night." Helena's heart ached. The boy was defending her with all his might. "This is ridiculous," the brunette in the blue dress said. "A maid is not capable of raising a child from a wealthy family. She doesn't even have the proper education." "And do you have a heart?" Gabriel shot back. "Because I can learn to read and write anywhere, but a good heart like Aunt Helena's is hard to find." The woman was left speechless. Ricardo was losing all control. "That's enough, Gabriel. Go to your room now. Helena, get your things and get out of my house." "Dad, you don't listen to me," Gabriel yelled, tears streaming down his face. "You never listen to me. Mom used to listen to me." "Your mom died, Gabriel. She's not coming back." "I know she died," the boy screamed, "but that doesn't mean I have to accept just anyone in her place." The yard fell silent. Everyone was shocked by Gabriel's outburst. The woman in the red dress coughed. "Ricardo, I think the boy needs psychological help. This isn't normal." "Having a mom is normal," Gabriel screamed at her. "Do you have children?" "No." "Then don't talk about what you don't know." Ricardo grabbed Gabriel by the arm. "You're going to stop being rude right now." "Ow! You're hurting me." Helena stepped forward without thinking. "Mr. Ricardo, he's just a child, and you're just a maid who has clearly overstepped her bounds with my son." "You just what? Filled his head with crazy ideas, made him cling to you to cause this confusion?" Helena turned pale. "Sir, I would never do that." "Liar!" Ricardo exploded. "For 6 months, you've been manipulating my son. You took advantage of a lonely child to turn his head against me." "That's not true," Gabriel managed to pull free from his father. "Stop yelling at her. Aunt Helena never did anything wrong." "Yes, she did. She took advantage of you." "She helped me." Gabriel was sobbing. "When I had nightmares, she would come talk to me. When I was sad, she would listen to me. Where were you, Dad? Where were you?" The question echoed through the yard like a gunshot. Ricardo was speechless. The 5 women exchanged glances, clearly uncomfortable. The blonde in the yellow dress whispered, to the others, "This is getting too heavy, let's go." "No!" Ricardo pleaded desperately. "You can't go. I'll fix this." But they were already walking toward their cars, muttering among themselves. In 5 minutes, the 3 luxury cars disappeared through the gate. Ricardo stood frozen in the middle of the yard, watching his chance to fix his life drive away. When he turned back, he had a look of rage Gabriel had never seen. "There! You did it! You sent them all away!" "I didn't send anyone away. They left on their own. They left because of you, because of the mess you created." Helena tried to speak. "Mr. Ricardo, you're not saying another word," he yelled at her. "Get your things now and get out of my house. I never want to see you here again." "No!" Gabriel threw himself in front of Helena. "She's not going." "Yes, she is. And you're going to your room, and you're not coming out." "I won't." Ricardo grabbed Gabriel by the arm and started pulling him toward the house. The boy was struggling, crying, screaming, begging for help. "Let go of me. I want Aunt Helena." "Forget that woman. She manipulated you." Helena stood there, not knowing what to do. She wanted to help Gabriel, but if she intervened, she would only make things worse. "Mr. Ricardo!" a voice shouted from the gate. Everyone turned. It was Carmen, the housekeeper, running towards them. "What's going on here? I heard screaming all the way from the kitchen." "Carmen, take this woman to get her things. I want her out of my house in 10 minutes." Carmen looked at Helena, then at Gabriel, struggling in his father's arms, then at Ricardo, who was beside himself with rage. "Sir, what did Helena do?" "She poisoned my son's mind. She made him cling to her to cause this chaos." "That's not true, Carmen." Helena finally managed to speak. "I just took care of Gabriel when he needed it." "Liar," Ricardo roared. Gabriel took advantage of the distraction and managed to break free. He ran to Helena and wrapped his arms around her waist. "Aunt Helena, don't leave me, please." Helena hugged the boy, feeling him tremble with sobs. "Gabriel, promise me you won't leave." Ricardo moved to separate them, but Carmen stepped between them. "Mr. Ricardo, calm down. Look at the state of the child." Gabriel was having a meltdown. He was crying uncontrollably, trembling, unable to breathe properly. I can't breathe," he managed to say between sobs. Helena knelt down to his level. "Gabriel, breathe with me slowly. Inhale, exhale." "I can't." Carmen was worried. "Sir, he's having a panic attack." "A panic attack? He's 9 years old." "Children have them too, sir. Especially children who have experienced loss." Ricardo looked at his son, losing control in Helena's arms, and for the first time he felt fear. Gabriel was purplish from crying so hard, sweating, trembling. "Gabriel!" He tried to approach. "No!" the boy screamed. "You're going to send her away! You don't care about me! You only—" "And care about work." The accusation hit Ricardo hard, but his pride was too wounded to admit it. "Carmen, call a doctor," he ordered. "He doesn't need a doctor," Helena said softly, still hugging Gabriel. "He just needs to calm down. Gabriel, listen to Aunt Helena. You're safe. No one is going to hurt you." Slowly, Gabriel stopped trembling. His breathing returned to normal, but he wouldn't let go of Helena. "There, my love. It's over," Helena murmured. Ricardo watched the scene. In 6 months, he had never seen his son have an episode like that, and he had never seen Helena manage to calm him down that way. But his wounded pride was stronger. "Carmen, take Helena to get her things. I want her out of here in 1 hour." Gabriel lifted his head from Helena's arms. "If she goes, I go with her. You're not going anywhere. You're staying here. Then I'll run away. If you run away, I'll call the police." Gabriel looked at his father with a sadness that broke Helena's heart. "You really hate me, don't you, Dad?" "I don't hate you." "Yes, you do. Ever since Mom died, you've hated me. That's why you work all the time. That's why you want to give me to just any woman to take care of. That's why you took Mom's pictures down from the house." Ricardo was speechless. Gabriel turned to Helena. "Aunt Helena, thank you so much for taking care of me. I'll never forget it." And he walked slowly back into the house, like a tired old man. Helena stood in the yard with a broken heart, watching the 9-year-old boy carry a pain that was too big for his small chest. "Carmen," Ricardo said, his voice hoarse, "help her pack her things." And he went inside, leaving Helena alone in the yard, where just an hour ago she had been chosen by Gabriel to be his mother. Now she was fired, despised, and losing the boy she had learned to love like a son forever. 3 days passed since Helena left, 3 days that felt like 3 years to Gabriel. The boy wouldn't leave his room, wouldn't talk to anyone, and barely touched his food. Carmen would go up with his meals and come down with the plates still full. "Mr. Ricardo." She tried to talk to him on the 2nd day. "Gabriel isn't eating anything. He'll eat when he's hungry," Ricardo replied without looking up from his computer. "He hasn't said a word in 2 days. He'll get over it, it's a tantrum." But Carmen knew it wasn't a tantrum. The boy was wasting away, consumed by sadness, and Ricardo was pretending not to see. On the morning of the 3rd day, the phone rang. It was Veronica Aguiar, the brunette in the blue dress. "Ricardo, darling, how are you?" "Oh, hi, Veronica. I'm okay. I've been thinking a lot about what happened at your house. What a terrible situation you went through, wasn't it?" Ricardo sighed. "It was embarrassing. I'm sorry about that." "Don't worry, darling. It wasn't your fault. It was that manipulative maid." "What do you mean?" "Come on, Ricardo. It's obvious she planned the whole thing. 6 months filling the child's head, playing the poor victim, gaining the boy's trust. It was all calculated." Ricardo stopped typing. "You think so?" "I'm sure of it. A poor woman sees a rich, widowed man with a young son. She knows the opportunity in front of her. I bet she's been aiming for you since the first day. She was always very dedicated to her work. Of course, it was part of the plan. Ricardo, you're a smart man in business, but sometimes you're too naive with people." Veronica's words made sense in Ricardo's confused mind. Maybe she was right. Maybe Helena had really manipulated Gabriel. "You know what I think?" Veronica continued. "You should give us a second chance. Without that woman causing a fuss, I'm sure Gabriel will accept us better." "I don't know, Veronica. He was very upset. That's exactly why. The child's mind was poisoned. It needs time to clear out. How about me and the girls come back on the weekend? No pressure, just to talk." Ricardo hesitated. He hasn't been talking to anyone for 3 days. Exactly. He's missing the manipulation. When he realizes that woman isn't coming back, he'll need someone to fill the void. That's where we come in. It made sense. At least it did in Ricardo's head. "Hey, you can come on Saturday afternoon." "Perfect, darling." "And Ricardo?" "Yes?" "This time, be firmer with Gabriel. A child needs boundaries. If he throws a tantrum, you show him who's in charge." When he hung up, Ricardo felt more confident. Maybe Veronica was right. Maybe Helena had really manipulated Gabriel, and now he needed to correct the situation. Meanwhile, in the small maid's room she had rented in a cheap boarding house, Helena couldn't stop thinking about Gabriel. How was he? Was he eating? Was he having nightmares? Who was comforting him when he woke up crying? She tried to call Carmen a few times, but the house phone didn't answer. Either Ricardo had forbidden the staff from talking to her. On Thursday night, as she was coming back from the supermarket, she saw Carmen at the bus stop. "Carmen!" She ran toward the housekeeper. "Helena, you scared me." Carmen looked around nervously. "I can't talk to you. If the boss finds out—" "How is Gabriel?" Carmen lowered her voice. "Bad, very bad. He's not eating, not talking, not leaving his room. He's wasting away." Helena's heart sank. "And Mr. Ricardo pretends he doesn't see. He says it's a tantrum, but I know it's not. Helena, the boy is really suffering. I have to do something." "You can't. He forbade you from even coming near the house. If he finds out you came here, he'll fire me too." Carmen's bus arrived. She got on quickly, but before the doors closed, she shouted through the window, "The women are coming back on Saturday!" Helena stood frozen on the sidewalk, processing the information. The 5 candidates were coming back, and Gabriel was weak, without the strength to defend himself. It was going to be a massacre. Saturday arrived. The 5 women appeared at Ricardo's house promptly at 3 in the afternoon. This time, they came more prepared. They had talked among themselves during the week and devised a strategy. "Ricardo, darling," Veronica said when they arrived, "we brought presents for Gabriel to break the ice. We've talked a lot about the situation. We understand that the child was a victim of manipulation. We're not going to pressure him today." Ricardo led them to the living room. Gabriel had not come down. Carmen went up to call him 3 times until he finally appeared at the top of the stairs. Helena would have been shocked if she saw him. In 3 days, the boy had lost weight. He was pale, with deep dark circles under his eyes. He looked sick. "Gabriel, come here, son. The ladies came to visit you." The boy came down slowly, dragging his feet. He sat in a chair far away, head bowed, without greeting anyone. "Hi, Gabriel," Veronica said, with a voice that was too sweet. "We brought you some presents." Gabriel looked up but said nothing. "Look at this." The blonde in the green dress, who was wearing blue today, showed him a large box. A brand new video game. Gabriel looked at the box without interest. "And I brought this." The brunette in the red dress, in pink today, showed him a very expensive bicycle for you to ride in the yard. "And I brought beautiful clothes." The other blonde, in white today, showed him designer shopping bags. "And I brought educational books." The last one, in a lilac dress, piled books on the table. Gabriel looked at everything without saying a word. Then he stood up and spoke the first thing he had said in 3 days. "Where's Aunt Helena?" Silence in the room. "Gabriel," Ricardo said with a hard voice, "forget that woman. She's not coming back." "Why?" "Because she wasn't good for you." "Yes, she was." "No, she wasn't," Ricardo exploded. "She manipulated you, made you cling to her to cause a fuss." Gabriel looked at his father with teary. "That's not true." "Yes, it is. And now you're going to get to know these ladies properly. One of them is going to be your new mom. I don't want any of them." Veronica leaned in toward Gabriel. "Honey, I know you're confused. That woman made you believe lies about us." "What lies? That we only want your dad's money? That we don't like you? That's a lie, Gabriel. We really want to be your family." Gabriel looked at her with an expression that didn't belong to his 9 years. "If you like me so much, why didn't anyone ask me how I am?" The question caught everyone off guard. "What do you mean, honey?" "It's been 3 days since I've eaten properly. It's been 3 days since I've slept. Did you know that?" The women looked at each other, not knowing how to respond. "Do you know that I cry every night, that I have nightmares about my mom, that I miss her every day. Gabriel, Ricardo tried to interrupt. Do you know that Aunt Helena was the only person in this house who asked how I was when I woke up sad? That she was the only one who listened to me when I wanted to talk about Mom? The 5 women were uncomfortable. They weren't expecting that kind of conversation. Gabriel, the blonde in blue, tried. We can learn to take care of you. Learn? Gabriel stood up from the armchair. You want to learn to like me? Aunt Helena didn't have to learn. She liked me from the first day. That's because she was interested in your father, Veronica said without thinking. That's a lie, Gabriel screamed. Aunt Helena never tried to win my dad over. She just took care of me because she liked me. She liked your dad's money. Gabriel stood up, trembling with anger. You're a liar. Gabriel, Veronica stood up as well. Don't you talk to me like that. I will. You don't know Aunt Helena. She's good. You're the one who only wants my dad's money. You're a rude, spoiled boy. And you're a fake. Veronica, losing control, slapped Gabriel across the face. The sound echoed through the room. Gabriel was in shock, his hand on his red cheek, his eyes filled with tears of humiliation and pain. You hit me, he whispered. Veronica realized what she had done and tried to fix it. Gabriel, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You upset me and I... But Gabriel was already running out of the room, screaming. Ricardo was finishing dinner when he heard his son screaming. Gabriel ran down the stairs and threw himself into his arms, sobbing. What happened? She hit me, Dad. The woman hit me. Ricardo looked at Veronica, who had come down after Gabriel, with a guilty look. Veronica, is this true? Ricardo, it was an accident. The boy disrespected me. He said horrible things. You hit my son? It was just a little tap. He was being rude. Ricardo felt a rage he had never felt before in his life. How dare you hit my child? Ricardo, calm down. Calm down. You hit Gabriel. Gabriel was clinging to his father, crying, the red handprint still on his face. Get out of my house, Ricardo said, with a coldness that even startled him. What? Get out of my house now. Ricardo, let's talk. There's nothing to talk about. Get your things and leave. Veronica tried to argue, but Ricardo was out of his mind. In 15 minutes, she was on the street with her bags, calling a taxi. When they were alone, Ricardo took Gabriel to the living room and examined his face. Does it hurt a lot? Gabriel shook his head no, but kept crying. Why did she hit you? Because I defended Aunt Helena. Ricardo felt a pang in his chest. Defended her? How? She said Aunt Helena only wanted money. I said it was a lie. Then she got mad and hit me. Gabriel, are you sure Helena really cared about you? The boy looked at his father with eyes red from crying so much. I am, Dad. She was the only person who asked if I was okay. The only one who listened to me when I wanted to talk about Mom. Why did you never tell me these things? Because you never had. Time to listen? The answer hurt more than any slap. Ricardo hugged his son, and for the first time in 2 years, he really paid attention to what Gabriel was saying. Son, I'm sorry. I've been a terrible father. You're not terrible, Dad. You just forgot how to take care of me after Mom left. And now what do we do? Gabriel looked at him with hope for the first time in weeks. We bring Aunt Helena back. Ricardo was silent. His pride screamed no, that Helena was just a maid. But looking at his hurt, malnourished and depressed son, he realized that perhaps pride wasn't as important as Gabriel's happiness. Where is she living now? I don't know, but Carmen must know. Ricardo called Carmen, who was in the kitchen, pretending she hadn't heard the whole commotion. Carmen, do you know where Helena is? Carmen hesitated. Yes, sir. She's in a boarding house downtown. Do you have the address? I do. Why? Ricardo looked at Gabriel, who was watching him with hopeful eyes. Because tomorrow morning I'm going to get her. Gabriel smiled for the first time in 2 weeks, and in that smile, Ricardo saw that he had made the most important decision of his life, not out of pride, not out of convenience, but out of love for his son. Ricardo didn't sleep all night. He sat in the armchair in Gabriel's room watching his son sleep. For the first time in 2 years, he really looked at the boy. He saw how thin he was, how pale, how fragile he seemed for his age. How could he have been so blind? Gabriel shifted in bed and murmured, "Aunt Helena, don't leave." He was either dreaming or having a nightmare. Ricardo went to him and touched his forehead. It was hot and sweaty. The boy opened his eyes, startled. "Dad? I'm here, son. You were dreaming." Gabriel sat up in bed, still confused. "I dreamed that Aunt Helena was coming back, but then she left again." "Gabriel, look at me." The boy looked. "I'm going to get Helena this morning. I'm going to apologize to her and ask her to come back." Gabriel's eyes widened. "Really, Dad? Really, but I need you to help me with something." "With what?" "I need to understand what I did wrong. I need you to tell me what it was like living here after your mom left." Gabriel was quiet for a few seconds, as if he were organizing his thoughts. Then he began to speak. "When Mom died, you disappeared, Dad." "What do you mean, disappeared?" "I was working away, running away from me, running away from the memories, running away from everything." Ricardo felt like he had been punched in the chest. "In the first few months, I cried every night. Do you know who came to comfort me? Carmen. You never came up here once." "Gabriel, let me finish, Dad. When it was my birthday, who organized the party? Carmen. When I was sick, who stayed with me? Carmen. When I had nightmares, who calmed me down? No one. I was alone until it passed." Each word was like a knife in Ricardo's heart. Then Aunt Helena arrived. In the first week, she noticed that I was waking up crying. Do you know what she did? "What?" "She asked if I wanted to talk." Just like that. No one had ever asked me that before. "And you talked?" "I did. I told her that I missed Mom, that I was afraid you would leave too, that I felt alone in a house full of people." Ricardo's eyes were filled with tears. "Why did you never tell me that?" "Because every time I tried to talk about Mom, you would change the subject. Every time I cried, you would tell me to be strong. Every time I needed you, you were working." "Son, Aunt Helena wasn't like that. She let me cry as much as I wanted. She let me tell her stories about Mom, and you know what she said that helped me the most?" "What?" "That missing someone wasn't a weakness. That crying for someone you love was normal. That Mom would be proud to see how much I loved her." Ricardo broke down crying. 2 years of guilt, of repressed pain, of bad decisions came out in a flood of tears. "Forgive me, Gabriel. Forgive me for being such a bad father." Gabriel went to him and hugged his father. "You're not bad, Dad. You were just hurting like me. But now we can help each other." "How?" "You stopped running away from me, and I stopped being afraid to talk to you." Ricardo hugged his son like he hadn't in 2 years. Right there in that room, something healed between them. Not everything, but enough to start over. "Dad," Gabriel said after a few minutes, "do you think Aunt Helena will forgive me?" "Why wouldn't she? You didn't do anything wrong, but she must be hurt. You fired her. You said mean things to her." Ricardo sighed. "Yeah, I did. I was very unfair. So you have to apologize for real." "I will. And what if she doesn't want to come back?" Gabriel looked sad. "Then we'll have to accept it. But at least she'll know how sorry we are." At 7 in the morning, Ricardo showered, got dressed, and asked Carmen to prepare a special breakfast. He wanted to take something to Helena as a gesture of peace. "Carmen, do you think she'll forgive me?" he asked, while the housekeeper prepared a basket with bread, cakes, and coffee. "It depends on how you talk to her, sir," Carmen replied. "Helena is a good person, but she has her dignity. If you go there just to order her around, she won't accept it. And if I go to ask for her forgiveness, then maybe she'll listen." Ricardo took the basket and went to his car. Gabriel wanted to go along, but he was too weak to leave the house. "Bring Her back, Dad, please. I will, son, I promise. The boarding house where Helena was staying was in an old part of downtown, a simple building, a bit run down, very different from the Almeida mansion. Ricardo parked in front and stood for a few minutes, trying to find the courage. He went up to the third floor and knocked on the door of room 305. "Who is it?" Helena's voice came from inside. "It's me, Ricardo." Total silence. "Helena, please, I need to talk to you." The door opened slowly. Helena appeared wearing a simple dress, her hair down, no makeup. She was still beautiful. But what impressed Ricardo the most was her expression. It wasn't anger, it wasn't bitterness, it was a deep sadness. "What do you want, sir?" she asked, but without opening the door completely. "I want to ask for your forgiveness." Helena was surprised. In 2 weeks of working for Ricardo, she had never seen him ask for forgiveness for anything. Forgiveness for what? For everything. For unfairly firing you, for believing you were manipulating Gabriel, for treating you so badly. Helena opened the door a little more, but didn't invite him in. "And what changed? Why are you here now?" Ricardo took a deep breath. "Gabriel is sick, childhood depression. The doctor said he's letting himself die of sadness." Helena turned pale. "Depression? But he's 9 years old." "Exactly. And you know what else the doctor said? That the solution isn't medicine. The solution is to give the child what he needs most. Which is," Ricardo looked directly into her eyes, "someone who really cares about him. Someone like you." Helena lowered her eyes. "Mr. Ricardo, and there's more. Last night, one of the candidates hit Gabriel." "Hit him?" Helena raised her head abruptly. "What do you mean, hit him?" "She slapped him across the face because he defended you." Helena's eyes filled with tears. "She hit Gabriel because of me?" "She did. And it was at that moment that I realized how wrong I was, how blind, proud and stupid I was." Helena opened the door completely. "Come in. Let's talk." The room was small and simple but clean and organized. A bed, a dresser, a small table. Ricardo felt bad seeing Helena living like that when she could have a comfortable home that he offered. "Helena, I need to tell you something." "What?" "Gabriel told me everything. How you took care of him when he had nightmares. How you listened to him talk about his mom. How you were the only person who really paid attention to him." Helena sat on the bed, still processing the information that Gabriel was sick. "I always knew he was lonely. Anyone with a little sensitivity would notice, but I didn't notice because you were also suffering, sir. Your wife's death affected you in a way you never managed to process properly." Ricardo was surprised by her understanding. "Because I've been through it. I've lost someone important, and I know how pain can make us blind to everything around us. And even, so you took care of Gabriel because he needed it and because..." Helena hesitated. "Because what?" "Because I grew fond of him in a way I didn't expect. In 6 months, he became like a son to me." Ricardo's heart ached. "Helena, I came here to offer you your job back. As a maid, as whatever you want to be. A maid, a housekeeper, a nanny, part of the family, whatever you decide." Helena was silent, deep in thought. "Helena, Gabriel is dying of missing you. Literally dying. Yesterday he fainted from weakness. He's not eating, not talking, not leaving his room. You're the only person who can save him. And have you changed your mind about me?" Ricardo bowed his head, embarrassed. "I have. I realized that you never tried to manipulate me or Gabriel. You simply cared about him for real. And the 5 candidates, all of them are gone forever. I realized Gabriel was right. They wanted my money, not my family." Helena stood up and went to the small window of the room. She looked out at the busy street below. "Mr. Ricardo, can I ask you a few questions?" "Of course. If I come back, will you respect me as a person, not just as an employee, but as someone who takes care of Gabriel because she likes him?" "I will." "Will you stop working so much and spend more time with your son?" I will. I've already realized that Gabriel needs me as much as he needs you. And if in the future you meet another woman and want to get married, will you remember that Gabriel has an opinion on it? Ricardo thought about the question. I will. In fact, Helena, yes. Gabriel said yesterday that you're the only person he wants as a mum. And watching the two of you together, I realized that you have a real connection. Helena turned to him. What are you trying to say? Ricardo blushed. He hadn't planned this conversation, but the words came out on their own. I'm saying that maybe Gabriel is right. Maybe you're exactly what our family needs. Not as an employee, Helena. As part of the family for real. Helena was speechless. She hadn't expected this at all. I know it sounds crazy, Ricardo continued. 2 days ago, I thought you were a manipulator. Today, I realize you might be the answer to all our problems. What answer? Gabriel needs a mom who loves him for real. I need someone to help me be a better father. You need a family that values you. Helena sat back on the bed, overwhelmed by the conversation. This is too fast, Mr. Ricardo. It's too... I know. I'm not asking for an answer now. I'm asking you to come back, take care of Gabriel, and give us a chance to show you that we've changed. And if it doesn't work out, you can leave whenever you want, with all the respect and compensation you deserve. Helena was silent for a long time. Ricardo waited anxiously. Okay, she finally said. I'll come back. Ricardo felt a huge sense of relief. Really? Really. But not because of you. Because of Gabriel. If he's sick, he needs me. That's all that matters. Do you want a ride? Helena looked around the simple room where she had spent the 2 saddest weeks of her life. I do. Let me just get my things. In 10 minutes, she had her small suitcase in her hand, ready to return to a house she never imagined she would miss so much. Helena, Ricardo said as they went down the stairs. Thank you. For what? For giving our family a second chance. Mr. Ricardo, can I be honest? Of course. I missed you guys a lot too, especially Gabriel. Ricardo smiled for the first time in weeks. Then let's go home and take care of him. And for the first time, the two of them walked out of that building, not as boss and employee, but as two people who wanted the same thing, to see Gabriel happy again. Gabriel was at his room's window when he saw his father's car pulling into the garage. His heart raced. Was Helena with him? Or had Ricardo come back alone with the news that she wouldn't forgive them? Carmen came up running. Gabriel, your father is here. Did he bring Aunt Helena? I don't know, honey. Let's go down and see. Gabriel went down the stairs slowly, his legs shaky from nerves and weakness. He stopped in the middle of the living room and waited. The front door opened and Ricardo came in alone. Gabriel's heart sank. She didn't want to come back. Ricardo smiled. What's the rush? You didn't even let me get in properly. Dad, please, was she with you? Or not? Why don't you ask her yourself? At that moment, Helena appeared at the door with her suitcase in her hand and a shy smile on her face. Aunt Helena! Gabriel screamed and ran, throwing himself into her arms. Helena dropped the suitcase and hugged the boy as if he were the most precious thing in the world. The two of them stood there, clinging to each other, crying, laughing and talking at the same time. I thought you weren't coming back, Gabriel sobbed. I thought so too, Helena admitted, but I couldn't stop thinking about you. Did you miss me? I missed you so much. I missed your stories, your questions, taking care of you. Gabriel pulled back a little to look at her. You look different. How? Sadder. I made you sad. Helena smiled through her tears. A little bit, but now I'm happy again. Carmen, who was watching the scene from the kitchen door, was also crying. I'm so glad you're back, Helena. This house was dead without you. Ricardo watched the reunion in silence. Seeing Gabriel in Helena's arms, he realized how foolish he had been. The connection between them was real, pure, and true. How could he have thought it was manipulation? "Aunt Helena," Gabriel said, still clinging to her, "are you going to stay forever now?" Helena looked at Ricardo, who gave her an encouraging nod. "I'll stay as long as you want me to stay." "Then it's forever, because I'll never want you to leave." "It's a deal." Gabriel finally let go of Helena and ran to his father. "Thank you, Dad. Thank you for bringing her back." Ricardo hugged his son. "Don't thank me. I should have done this a long time ago. The important thing is that now we're a family again." The word family echoed through the living room. Ricardo and Helena looked at each other, both thinking about the conversation they had had in the boarding house. "Gabriel," Ricardo said, "Aunt Helena just got here. How about we let her rest for a bit?" "No! I want to show her a bunch of things." "Aunt Helena, come to my room. I have to tell you everything that happened." Helena laughed. "Okay, but only if you promise you'll eat a proper lunch afterward." "I promise. Now that you're back, I'll eat everything." The two of them went upstairs together, Gabriel talking non-stop, Helena listening to every word as if it were the most important thing in the world. Ricardo stayed in the living room, watching them go up. Carmen came over. "Mr. Ricardo, you did the right thing." "I hope so, Carmen." "You did. This house became a cemetery after Helena left. Now it has life again." "Carmen, can I ask you something?" "Of course. Do you think Helena can really become part of this family? Not as an employee, but as Gabriel's mom?" Carmen smiled. "Sir, she's already Gabriel's mother. You just need to make it official. As for my wife, that's up to you. But can I say one thing? Go ahead. In 20 years of working here, I've never seen you as human as you've been today. Helena isn't just going to be good for Gabriel. She's going to be good for you too." In Gabriel's room, Helena was listening to the detailed account of everything that had happened in her absence. "And then the woman slapped me across the face," Gabriel recounted indignantly. "My goodness, she really hit you." "She did. Look, there's still a little mark." Gabriel showed his cheek, where a slight redness remained. Helena touched his face carefully. "Did it hurt a lot?" "It did. But you know what? Hurt more?" "What?" "Her talking bad about you. She said you only wanted Dad's money. And you defended me?" "I did. I said she was a liar and that you liked me for real." Helena hugged Gabriel again. "You're the bravest boy I know. Aunt Helena, can I tell you a secret?" "You always can." "When you left, I talked to Mum every night." "How?" Gabriel picked up the teddy bear his mum had given him. "I talked to her through the teddy bear. I told her I was sad and that I missed you." "And what did she say?" "She said that you would come back, that you liked me very much, and you wouldn't abandon me." Helena felt her eyes well up with tears. "Your mom was right. I know. She always knows things from up in heaven." "Gabriel, can I ask you a question?" "Sure." "How would you feel if I wasn't just your nanny or the housemaid anymore?" "What do you mean?" Helena chose her words carefully. "How would you feel if I became part of the family for real?" Gabriel's eyes widened. "Like Dad's wife?" Helena blushed. "Something like that." "Are you going to marry my dad?" Gabriel shouted with joy. "Don't yell! We don't know that yet. I'm just asking how you would feel." Gabriel thought for a few seconds. "Aunt Helena, can I be very honest?" "Always. Ever since you came here, I've imagined what it would be like if you were my real mom. I imagine you tucking me in every night, taking me to school, taking care of me when I get sick. I imagine us being a real family. And how does that make you feel?" Gabriel smiled, the most beautiful smile Helena had ever seen. "Happy. Very happy." "So, if one day that happens?" "When it happens," Gabriel corrected, "it's going to be the happiest day of my life." Helena hugged the boy, emotional. "You're very special, Gabriel." You're special too, Aunt Helena. That's why I chose you that day in the yard. Do you remember? I remember everything. You were scared. I was scared. But my heart knew you were the right person. Your heart knew. It, it did. Just like Mom always said, the heart never makes a mistake when we truly love someone. Helena was moved by the wisdom of the 9-year-old child. Gabriel, now that I'm back, I need you to promise me something. What? That you'll talk to me whenever you're sad or afraid. That you won't keep things to yourself. I promise. And you promise you won't leave again. I promise. No matter what happens, I'll always be here for you. Even if Dad gets mad at you. Even if Dad gets mad at me. Even if other women show up wanting to marry him. Helena laughed. Especially if other women show up. Gabriel laughed too. Aunt Helena, yes. I love you. It was the first time Gabriel had said those words to Helena. She felt her heart explode with emotion. I love you too, Gabriel, very much. Do you love me like I'm your son? I love you like you're my real son. Gabriel was radiant. Then you're already my mom in my heart, and you're already my son in my heart. The two stayed, embraced, sealing a love that had been born naturally and that nothing in the world could destroy. Downstairs, Ricardo was in the library when he heard laughter coming from Gabriel's room. It was the first time he had heard his son truly laugh in months. He went up slowly and stood by the half-open door, watching. Helena and Gabriel were on the bed, looking at a photo album. This is Mom pregnant with me, Gabriel explained. How beautiful. She looks so happy. She was. Dad always says she was so happy when she found out I was coming. And here, when you were born, here we are, the three of us at the hospital. Look how Dad is smiling. Ricardo watched the scene and realized something he had never noticed before. Helena wasn't trying to replace Mariana. She was honoring her memory, helping Gabriel keep his mother's memory alive. Aunt Helena, Gabriel said, when you marry Dad, you'll be my second mom. Mom Mariana will still be my first mom. Exactly. No one will ever take your mom. Mariana's place. I'll be a new, different love. Just like Dad always says, there's room in the heart for a lot of love. Ricardo felt his eyes fill with tears. Helena was teaching Gabriel something he himself hadn't been able to learn. That loving again doesn't mean forgetting who has passed away. He knocked on the door. Can I come in? Dad, come look at the pictures with us. Ricardo sat on the bed with the two of them. For the first time in 2 years, he was able to look at Mariana's photo without feeling only pain. Look at this picture, Dad. Gabriel showed him an image of Mariana pregnant. Aunt Helena said Mom was really happy here. She was. She could barely wait for you to be born. And this one from my first birth? That was a beautiful party. Your mom insisted on inviting all the neighborhood kids. Helena watched father and son talking about Mariana naturally, without pain, without guilt. It was exactly what Gabriel needed. Dad, Gabriel said after a while, can I ask you a question? Of course. Do you like Aunt Helena? Ricardo looked at Helena, who blushed. I like her a lot, Gabriel. Do you like her like a friend? Or do you like her like Mom? Gabriel's direct question left the two adults speechless. Gabriel, Helena began. It's an important question, Gabriel insisted. Because if you like each other, you can date, and then get married, and then we'll be a complete family. Ricardo and Helena looked at each other. Gabriel's simplicity made everything seem so much easier. Gabriel, Ricardo said carefully, these things take time. How much time? I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. Gabriel was thoughtful. Dad, can I give you my opinion? Can. You two already like each other. I can see it in the way you look at each other, and we already live like a family. So why not make it official soon? Helena laughed at the boy's simple logic. It's not that simple, Gabriel. Why not? Because your dad and I have only known each other for a short time. 6 months isn't a short time, and besides, what matters isn't time. What matters is whether you truly love each other. Ricardo was impressed with his son's wisdom. And how do you know if people truly love each other? It's easy. When they take care of each other, when they worry about each other, when they're happy together, just like you two are. Helena and Ricardo looked at each other again. Gabriel wasn't wrong. Gabriel, Ricardo said, how about we let things happen naturally? Okay, but I'm already giving my approval for the marriage. The three of them laughed together. For the first time in 2 years, that house knew genuine happiness. Now, Helena said, how about we go down for lunch? You promised you would eat properly. I will. Now that my family is complete, I'm hungry again. Gabriel jumped off the bed with an energy he hadn't shown in weeks. He ran down the stairs, yelling to Carmen that he was hungry. Helena and Ricardo were left alone in the room. Helena, Ricardo said, thank you. For what? For giving me my son back, and for teaching me that it's possible to love again without betraying the one who left. Helena smiled. Gabriel taught me that. Children have a wisdom that we adults lose. Helena, what Gabriel said about us getting married, how do you feel about that? Helena took a deep breath, scared, happy and confused all at the same time. Why scared? Because it happened too fast. Yesterday I was your fired maid. Today I'm being treated like a future wife. And why happy? Because I've fallen in love with both of you, with this family. Ricardo went closer to her. Helena, can I be honest? Of course. I've also fallen in love. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I've fallen in love with the woman who gave my son his happiness back and who taught me how to be a father again. Helena felt her heart race. Ricardo, I know it's early. I know it's complicated, but I can't pretend I don't feel it. And what do you feel? That you are exactly what Gabriel and I have always needed. That you didn't just end up here by chance. That maybe Mariana sent you to take care of us. Helena was moved by his words. You really believe that? I do. Gabriel chose you that day in the yard, but now I understand that my heart chose you too. Dad, Aunt Helena! Gabriel's voice yelled from downstairs. Where are you guys? Food is ready. The two of them laughed. Let's go, Helena said. Your son is hungry. Our son, Ricardo corrected. Helena smiled. Our son. They went down the stairs together, holding hands for the first time. Gabriel saw them and started clapping. I knew it. I knew you guys would get together. Carmen appeared from the kitchen, smiling. How wonderful. This house needed love again. During lunch, Gabriel wouldn't stop talking. He told Helena about school, his friends, and his upcoming birthday plan. Aunt Helena, are you going to be here for my birthday? Of course I will. And will you help me organize the party? If you want me to. I do. And Dad, are you going to help too? Ricardo smiled. I will, son. Then it's going to be the first party the three of us organize together. After lunch, Gabriel wanted to show Helena the backyard as if she had never seen it before. Look, Aunt Helena, this is where I chose you that day. Really? You remember exactly where it was? Gabriel ran to a specific spot near the pool. It was here. I was here. You were there, and I pointed at you and said I wanted you to be my mom. Ricardo watched the scene. And do you still want me to be? Of course I do. Even more now. Helena knelt down to Gabriel's level. Gabriel, if one day I really become your official mum, do you promise that you will always remember Mom Mariana? I promise. She's going to be my mom in my heart who's in heaven, and you're going to be my mom in my heart who's here with me. And is there room in your heart? In for both of them? Gabriel opened his arms. My heart is huge. There's room for everyone I love. Ricardo hugged Helena from behind. So, is it decided? What's decided? Gabriel asked, curious. Ricardo looked at Helena, who was smiling, and nodded. That soon we're going to make our family official. Really? Gabriel yelled and ran across the yard. Carmen! Carmen! Dad's going to marry Aunt Helen. Carmen appeared at the kitchen door, laughing. Wonderful, son, that's wonderful. Gabriel ran back and hugged them both at the same time. Now we're a complete family for real. Ricardo looked at the blue sky. Mariana, our family is complete again. Thank you for sending Helena to us. Helena looked up too. Thank you, Mariana. I promise I'll take very good care of your boy. Gabriel looked at the two adults. She's watching, right? Mom is happy up in heaven. She is, Ricardo confirmed. I'm sure she is. And there, in that backyard where it all began, a new family was formed, not replacing what was lost, but building something new and beautiful on the foundation of true love. 6 months later, in a simple but emotional ceremony in the backyard of the house, Ricardo and Helena got married. Gabriel was the proudest ring-bearer in the world, carrying the rings with a smile that lit up the whole party. Now, officially, he said, when the newlyweds kissed, I have the best family in the world. And as the guests applauded, Helena looked at the sky and whispered, Thank you, Mariana. I promise I'll love them forever. The wind rustled the trees in the yard as if Mariana were giving her final blessing. The maid, who was chosen by a 9-year-old boy, had become not only a wife and mother, but the person who brought happiness back to a broken family. And Gabriel grew up knowing that he had two special women in his life, Mariana, who loved him first and forever, and Helena, who loved him. True love doesn't replace, it multiplies. Of the story. Thank you for watching. May this story inspire your day. Like, share, and stay tuned for more.